What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Friday Invitational. And I am here with none other than the legendary server overlord himself, Kaoe. What up, Kaoe?
Hello, it is me, the overlord, not the king.
I got a funny story for you. I don't think I've ever told you this. When I first started getting into Discord, there was a very limited amount of servers that I had any interest in participating in. And I joined these servers, and I'm seeing the admin of all the servers is this guy Kaoe, and I thought that maybe it was some kind of slang term for something. And then I realized it's like, hold on a minute, this guy's got the same logo. Kaoe is everywhere.
It's a very popular logo, I'm afraid. Yeah, also definitely slang.
But yeah, it was pretty awesome to see that you were in charge of every Discord that I was interested in being a part of. Made it
total coincidence. Definitely not a creepy juice bag stalker, FYI.
It's definitely it's just nice to see familiar formats, on various Discords, which is just pretty awesome.
Yep, I'm there. I mean, the games that I'm a sort of a manager of or an overlord on are sort of similar in genre, so it's not that surprising.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll send you another. Let's see. I'll send you another invite. See if it'll let you in here.
We can know.
Jag, J-Box, Demon, Twinkie, Clayton. What's up, everybody? There's Sakis. Oh my God! Every time I see the name Sakis, I just crave extremely yummy Greek food. It's
I don't think I've ever had a craving for Greek food personally.
I love Mediterranean food. It's so good. I like I don't know, I just like everything about it.
I'm not cultured enough to even give you a short list of Greek food, man.
Well, I mean, I'm very limited. There's a Mediterranean restaurant where I live here, and I get the exact same thing every time.
Yogurt. That's pretty much it.
What up, Clash? Killer Monkey, Apollo, Patty, Light Rain, Ghost Lion. Everybody's here. Anyway, Kaoe and I are going to have a little fun with some DD2.
Maybe. If I can actually log into the game.
Kaoe's having some matchmaking bugs. We're all very familiar with those. Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, Sakis would get the real deal if I came to Greece, but with today's airline costs, it would cost like $16 million for me to fly there, it seems like. Or the equivalent.
Look,
the equivalent thereof.
Greece, right? You move to Greece, you get a better upload speed, and then you recoup all of that millions on streaming revenue. Perfect plan. Couldn't go wrong.
I'm not sure if it started yet there, Moist, but it double XP should be starting real soon. It's a matter if they've got it all turned on yet. I'm assuming if it's not there yet, it'll be there pretty quickly. But it is after 4 p.m. Eastern. But it's only 15 minutes after, so it's not like it's hours or anything. Lalta said he will get it squared away, yeah, pretty quick. Oh, there he is. What up? Discord Defender Kaoe. I have failed and have yet to get that role. I've got to work on that.
Yeah, you're slacking. Hardcore slacker.
I try. My problem with Discord is I start chatting on Discord and then look at the clock and it's 2 hours later. And then
yeah, been there.
And then I don't get anything done. I basically, my wife is she's the shit. She's the reason I'm able to do YouTube and Twitch full time. If it wasn't for her feeding me, I'd be screwed. So I've kind of have to work around her schedule with streaming. And
be a dried up orange.
Oh, that is for sure. Alright, let's go ahead and queue it up. Let's see if we can't get some of those fancy new shards here. Do a little Chaos 1, see what we get. How do you want to do it? Do you want to do some multi-building, or do you want me to build, or what do you think?
You build.
I'll build. It's all good. I got the power. I'm pretty stoked. I'm finally starting to get a little progression in on the Xbox, and I'm gonna hit the PS4 after that. The PS4, I'm not gonna lie. I've been taking carries.
Huh. Gasp.
I did it all legit on the Xbox, but the PS4, there is no legitimacy there.
At least you're honest.
I put it out there. I told everybody. It's like, look, I just grinded it out. I did it, I've done it on the PC for ages.
Look, I don't blame you, alright? I don't blame you.
Oh, nice.
I don't blame you.
Trendy Ent has arrived and says double XP is live. That is awesome. Looks like you got booted.
Yeah, it just left me in the tavern like a skulking schoolgirl.
Skulking schoolgirl in the tavern. Oh man, something sounds illegal about that.
Hey, is this stream 18 plus?
Well, I guess it just became that.
Yeah. Gone sexual with juice bags.
I usually behave pretty well on stream, except for Friday nights. I do a late night Friday night stream, and sometimes I get a little out of control.
Oh yeah.
It's been known to happen.
Wild animal.
But anyway, I'm stoked that you're able to join me today. I know you're a busy man with all this stuff, and that actually really was my first question for you. Is I know you're not only the admin of the DD2 Discord, but several other Discords too, and then Reddit. I mean, how did you learn to become the master of all things interwebs? Were you self-taught, or did you did you go to school for all that?
I did not. Basically, it started a long time ago with RuneScape private servers. Not gonna lie. Back when I was younger than I currently am, I was the owner of multiple RuneScape private servers, and that's pretty much how I learned C++ to begin with. Got me started with C++, and taught me some important skills. Of course, since then I've pretty much, at any given point, been an owner or a manager or something or other of something. It's been a while since then, but it's at least 10 years. But self-taught. Short answer.
Well, I mean, that's nothing more effective than that. I mean, that's with the whole video editing thing and all I do. I mean, you can go back and look at the first video I put on the YouTube channel, and it'll actually make everybody laugh. I mean, I was uncomfortable. I didn't know how to edit. You learn. It's definitely a constant learning process. You never stop. I haven't set up the giveaway quite yet here, Suck, but I'll actually do that right now and let you guys get to spamming here. Let me let Nightbot get all good and spruced up and awake. Nightbot's been requiring a little extra caffeine lately. A little bit more than normal, it seems like. So let's see, we're giving away the Adept, so why don't... I know it's a little excessive. Or let's say, we'll just make it easy. We'll make it hashtag KO. So that's hashtag KAOE.
Not even my birthday. Jeez.
So go ahead and throw a hashtag KO in chat, and that will enter you to win. And we're going to give away one Dryad code about halfway through the stream. My phone's lighting up on me here. People saying hi. Anyway, we're going to give away one regular Adept code about halfway through the stream, and then At the end of the stream, we're going to give away an Adept bundle. So that's going to include the skin, which is kind of cool.
Ooh.
The skin looks nice, and a lot of things are changed. Like the little animations with victories and everything else is all changed with the skin, and it's just hilarious when you look at them. It's just, it only counts one entry there, Clash, so I mean, I don't have any limitations on how many times you guys enter it in, but you only get one entry, so no matter how many times you type it, you're gonna just get one.
Just like you only live once, you only enter once.
That's right. This is actually a ridiculously fun map. I was hoping that this one would come to some later Chaos tiers. Maybe one day.
Getting some Power Surge flashbacks, not gonna lie.
Well, yeah. I mean, Power Surge. I guess besides Power Surge is definitely, it's definitely got its challenge. No doubt about it. So if you were to pick a favorite builder in DD2, what do you think it would be?
I would have to say the Dryad. Just simply because I like the sort of homing mechanics of her towers, and she's very versatile, right? Like she has a barricade. Like she has a tower for everything. Yeah. Back when she first came out, I was pretty much only using her to build. Don't ask if that went well, because that's a whole nother story. But I was really interested in trying to make her work well, especially with like the most difficult maps. I just wanted to see if I could just build exclusively with her and have it work. I'm not going to tell you if it did, but you can make your assumptions.
Yeah, absolutely. Suck the Fabled has arrived. What's going on there, Suck? Partek? The when the Dryad first came out, it was a game changer. I mean, it was a kind of a super builder, really. I mean, the bees and the Nimbus and the slimes, just so powerful. I actually really like some of the thoughts that are out there on the forums right now, with some of the thoughts on where the devs think they may change or may take the Dryad in the future, you know? I would love to see some of those changes. I mean, everything in the post that they have listed as ideas, I absolutely love them.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what's on the post and what's not, so I won't comment too much on that.
One of the big well, for one, the stars, they're thinking about making the stars more active, where it's not a 2 key press thing, where you just aim and hit your ability and that's where it comes down. I really like that. And in fact, that's one of the reasons, you know, whether, you know, everybody gives me the Lonely Island song, about throwing it on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't like throwing stuff on the ground actively. I don't know. I just don't like it. But if that mechanic was to be added, that would completely change the amount of time I use the Dryad as. And I mean, the Dryad's just such a beast. It's hard not to use her.
Yeah, it's true. I have to agree. I don't have it set up right now, but usually I would have my keybind set up to function with the Dryad as a DPS character, and just, you know, hitting the button to make it fall every time just seems like it just felt a bit odd, to be honest.
Yep.
And then you have to collect them. It's just like too much for a simple ability, right? Like for what I have to do for it, it's not worth it.
Oh, absolutely. And then another really interesting thought is they're thinking about reworking how the tree works and making it so it's more of an aura instead of being a blockade. So you could throw it up there wherever you wanted. You know, you could put it right on the spawn if you wanted. And then, you know, of course, the feedback from most of the people with the posts are, you know, just make it big. Which, you know, obviously, of course, bigger is better. We all want it to be big.
Well, I mean, you know, there's definitely advantages to each side of the argument, right? Like, okay, right now, it's a blockade, and in many cases, how it's being used it's not being used as a blockade. So why not just dump the blockade, make it an aura, people can put it wherever they want. That's sort of Trendy's mindset with that change. However, a lot of people have the mentality that, you know, oh, I like it as a blockade, but I can't use it as a blockade. So they want, you know, they just want it to actually be a usable blockade. I don't know, you know, it's obviously, you know, Trendy's gonna do what Trendy is gonna do. So, you know, honestly, I'm fine with either way. Personally, I would like it as a blockade, but I would be happy with an aura as well. So as long as it works, you know.
Right. I like the concept of using it as a blockade. My only complaint about it really is the, you know, the really short range of it, and then it seems like there's some questionable aggro. Like the mobs sometimes will just run past and not stay and pound it.
Yeah, that's always been the case with blockades, though, in DD2, to be honest.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it.
They did, yeah, that reminds me, they did, it used to be bigger. It used to have a much larger radius, didn't it? And then they heavily nerfed the effective radius of it.
Yeah. That was,
4 shards even.
Partek just said that in chat, and he thinks we need the old tree range to defense unit efficiency back.
Consider the old tree range plus all of the shards and stuff. Ascension, we can now increase the range of it. It would just be crazy. 1 tree per map. We're talking 1 tree per map here. It's just not feasible. Trust me, it's been tested.
Oh, absolutely. I'm excited to see which direction they go there, though, because the Dryad is really fun to play, and then of course being a fan of Terraria too, it's just nice to see that the two companies got together and did the crossover.
Yeah, actually, that was how I got interested in DD2 to begin with. I've got like 1,000, 1,200 hours or something on Terraria, and
oh wow,
I see crossover. I'm like, wow, that looks cool. I want to play a Dryad in third person.
Oh, you're an official Terraria pro then. I'm still a nub. I mean, I've gone through and I've killed the Moon Lord and all that stuff on expert mode, but it was not pretty. Now towards the end, I did have some nice AFK farms and stuff set up, thanks to thanks to a few different YouTube guides out there.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys that likes the really complex, you know, wiring systems, but in games that are really simple, like, you know, Terraria and Starbound's another one. Like even Redstone, Minecraft, you know.
Yeah.
Get a wire mod in there. Crazy stuff can happen.
You know,
finally, Terraria is another one of the games that I own the server in.
Right. I tried to play Starbound, and everybody tells me I need to give it another shot, but every time I loaded it up and started playing it, it made me want to play more Terraria.
Well, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I will say that it definitely has a different feel, right? Like it's more story driven than Terraria. So there is like a loose backstory. You will hit a certain point in the game in Starbound where progression slows down a little bit, but it does pick up after a while. I would say I definitely have less hours in Starbound than Terraria, no doubt.
Yeah.
But it's something I like to come back to every once in a while and be like, oh yeah, Starbound is great. Because it is different from Terraria. It is different.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Another one that's actually more similar to Starbound rather than Terraria is Edge of Space. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
I have.
Yeah, I backed that in Kickstarter. I don't play it as much as I would, you know, like to admit, but it's a good game. It's a good game. It's got a different feel as well. It's more techy rather than nature.
Somebody just mentioned in chat, what would I think about an OMDU crossover? I mean, you guys already know my feelings on Orcs Must Die. I absolutely love that franchise. That would be ridiculous. It would completely make my day. And I know that you know, Robot and Trendy are friendly with each other. But then again, on the same note, it's, you know, somebody else mentioned it's kind of two sides of the same coin, you know. Ceph TV put it out there. And I mean, that's true. I mean, they're very similar in base mechanics, but they're just both such wonderful franchises. It would be pretty awesome to see them do something together, you know.
Yeah, I could definitely see a crossover happening. I mean, I can tell you now there's no plans for it, but
Right.
I would totally be pro OMDU crossover. I don't believe Robot has ever done any crossovers before. It's really, I mean, when it boils down to it, when you do a crossover, it really sucks up every little bit of small dev team's resources. You really need everyone on it, and so really freeing up the workload and the schedule for every employee in 2 companies is the big challenge, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It's a good idea in theory, but you have to consider, you know, they have to like drop everything they're doing, and both games have to be in a really comfortable place in order to do a crossover, I think.
Oh, no doubt. It's all right. I got another one for you here. This one will be easy. What is your go-to hero deck? So when you pop,
that's the hardest one, dude.
Is it? Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
who do you just naturally have in your deck when you log in?
Gunwitch for sure, Dryad, and then it kind of varies. I really switch up quite often. Currently I have got EV2 and Sorcerer, or Apprentice, rather.
Nice.
But generally, I would switch that Apprentice out for a Mystic.
Mystic
I like Mystic.
is really strong too. I mean, there's no doubt about it. That, and I mean snakes. You know, who doesn't want to throw around some snakes?
Yeah.
Yeah. No giveaways have gone out yet there, Mad Knight. I'll be doing a regular adept code here about halfway through the stream, probably in another 15 minutes or so. And then at the end of the stream, I'll do a bundle adept, so you get the cool skin as well. Let me see, good lord, I don't even have her in my deck. What am I doing? That's not right. Let me get old Suck the Fabled, the adept, into deck here.
Suck the Fabled, the addict?
The adept. The addict too, I guess you could put it that way.
He might be an addict of Discord. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he probably is. That is for sure. When is the end of the stream? I don't know, Toofy. Probably, we'll probably go another hour or something like that. I'm not sure. Depends on, yeah, depends on whatever.
Yeah, I can tell this is a 24-hour live stream.
24 hours live. There may be just a thumbnail sitting there with my stream schedule on it for 22 and a half of that, but
yeah.
You get a hero card every time you purchase a new hero there, Brent. It's just on, you have to look at the fine print on the consoles. When you open up your hero deck, you can see there's a little, I don't even know what the control is off the top of my head now, but there's one that says all heroes. You're going to want to click that. I think it used to be like the left stick. What is that, L3? I believe that's what it used to be, but I know that all those controls just changed, so that may change. What's up, Pixia?
I will tell you this adept skin is looking much better than the first form I saw it in. The first iteration of this skin was. Just imagine it in its current form, but there's no orange coloration, there's no particle effects.
I actually saw it as well, the concept art for it, and I was actually wondering about it. See, I've got mixed emotions on it. I think the skin looks absolutely awesome, but I really like her face and her hair and her big glasses, you know? And I have a hard time giving that up, but the skin, just for the little wave it does when you hit G, I was hooked the second I saw it. Just had to go with it.
I mean, personally, I like skins that change up their appearance. You know, even their character, really, I'm alright with. You know, there'll be more skins in the future to appeal to whatever sort of way you interpret the character, right? I mean, I'm sure there will be more adept-looking skins in the future.
Oh, absolutely. Joe in chat said he named his Mary Potter. That's awesome. We just need that Gryffindor skin or something.
Yeah, look, if you're gonna name it after Harry Potter, it's gotta be Moaning Myrtle.
Oh my God, that's perfect. Partek wanting to change the stream title, or just looking at it. Mary Potter's good. Joe is actually a novelist. He comes up with lots and lots of good names. Some of the ones that you'd think are just, how do you not think of that one already? Like he created my official Gunwitch name, which is Leslie Snipes, and it's like, how the hell did I not think of that to begin with? You know, it's just awesome. No doubt about it. So, so you actually already answered my next question, and that was kind of what brought you to DD2, and the Terraria crossover did it for you. So that's, you know, it's awesome that you got in the mix, and I mean, the DD2 Discord, of course, is insanely active. So it's always, you know, it's nice to see it doing so well. You know.
Yeah, when at the time, Discord was, you know, relatively new, right? Like, you know, it couldn't possibly compete with Skype or TeamSpeak. But I had discovered it, must have been a few months before. And I was using it, you know, I was still using Skype and TeamSpeak actively at the time, as well as, like, Steam chat. But since then, it's become crazy popular, and I've definitely said I use Discord more than anything else.
Oh, absolutely.
And it kind of goes congruent with it as well, because when I found the DD2 Discord server, it was pretty much dead. And one might say that Discord itself was dead. No, maybe not.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's not dead anymore, so...
Oh, it's definitely alive and well, and then you've done some great, you know, you've done a really, really great overhaul of the Reddit page as well, no doubt about it. I actually don't use Reddit as often as I should. I mean, there's always a lot of good information on Reddit.
You know what? Neither do I. I only use it as much as I need to.
Right. I mean, that's pretty much where I do. I look if a lot of times I don't even know that an interesting article or feature or whatever has, you know, someone has popped onto Reddit, but somebody will send me a message and say, hey, you need to check out my Reddit post, but I don't use it.
That's part of the reason why I put the Reddit channel in the Discord, right? Because Discord's so active, and it's easy to sit on Discord all day and, you know, check the channel once every so often, but it's not necessarily as convenient to sit on Reddit all day and just refresh looking through new posts. So, you know, you might see an interesting post title within Discord, and you're like, I actually do that all the time. I'm like, I mean, obviously I would see it anyways since I'm looking at every single post on there, but sometimes I see it on Discord first.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the DD2 Discord is doing great. I actually didn't even know that, you know, I had no idea how active it was until, you know, I actually popped in, but a lot of good people there.
Oh yeah, for sure. And new people every day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. God, I love that little animation, the little victory animation she does. I actually added it into it was a little pop-up in the Kaoe video, telling people that we were going to be having a little DD2 fun today. I had the little Adepts Vic. I'm very new to the whole rotoscoping, and I've just started playing around with it yesterday, so it's not the cleanest looking image. But it was fun to do, to take her little victory dance out.
Yeah. Well, you know, you're not putting this in your portfolio or anything, so.
Right.
Probably fine.
It's just, you know, it's fun to play with those sorts of things, no doubt about it. All right, so let's see. Now this one. This is well, I guess this one isn't really that tough, but for me personally, if someone was going to ask me these questions, I think this is the toughest thing for me to answer, and that would be, what is your favorite map to play in DD2?
That is a difficult question to answer, but not for the reasons you think. The reason is because I can't remember all the dang names for my life. But also, I don't really generally pick favorites. I will say I have some maps that are definitely like top 3, top 5. The map, one map that sticks out in my memory is, I'd know all these names if I heard them immediately. I know what you were talking about, but coming up with the name, nigh impossible. It's, where you would find the old green huntress bow.
Oh, Chrome Enemies, yeah.
Yeah. Chrome Enemies. I like that map. I actually just like the map design as well, with the that massive backdrop with the sky and everything. It's nice. I've seen some people fly really high, let's say, and they've taken some good pictures.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Not gonna name any names or anything more than that, but
Green Huntress bow. Gobu approves.
yeah.
That new bow, Gobu, that reskinned bow. This, do I have... Let me get Gobu on my deck here real quick. I'll show you what I'm talking about, but... In my opinion, this bow right here, the Treetop Sniper, is just the most perfect Gobu skin bow. I think it just
really
matches the costume so perfectly.
Totally.
Now, I don't have, sadly, I never got the shot type that I really wanted on this bow, but the bow just looks so cool, I couldn't help but use it.
Of course. I mean, what's really important in this game? Think about it for 2 seconds, that's all you need.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Cosmetic.
Yeah, that's right. So before we start this map, I'll go ahead and get the first adept code out. So if you haven't already, give me a hashtag KO in chat, and I'll give you guys a minute or two to enter them all in. And this one's going to be just for the, the standard adept. Figured since Gobu's here, I better use the Huntress and not just put Sky Guards in. Got to use those Poison Dart Towers to keep the Legion happy there.
Yeah, you don't want to wake up in the middle of the night with a Gobu attached to your leg.
Oh man, I don't know what I would do.
Yeah,
I would yell at the cat and ask why the cat hasn't dealt with this thing.
No, the cat's attached to Gobu's leg.
Cat is going for it. Let's see, who did I pull out of deck? Oh, the adept. That's right. Let's get the adept back in the party here. Man, did I get all the lanes? I think so.
Watching chat, it's like, a lot of people don't, for whatever reason, like, look at how to spell it. I mean, it's in the stream title, obviously, but my name is just something that has perplexed the human race for generations, apparently. Too many vowels. That's what I've been told.
I had somebody on stream a couple of days ago tell me I was pronouncing it wrong, and I knew that you had the pronunciation in your profile on Discord, so I went and looked, and I was pronouncing it right, and I sent him a message. I'm like, nah, man, you're pronouncing it wrong.
Yeah, you tell him.
KO.
Yeah, I've heard a lot. I've heard anything from KO to Kawalu. Actually, one of my PS4 friends just calls me that perpetually now. But
is it KO LOL on?
Yeah, what throws some people off is the LOL part. Definitely, like. So when KO isn't available, or you have to have more than 4 digits in the username or something like that. I had the LOL on the end. I always have. But sometimes that throws people off quite a bit. They'll say like KO, or Like, if you can identify the LOL, think about it. How would you say LOL? Would you say LOL or would you say LOL? I mean, I
Right.
guess it's kind of up for debate. I don't really mind KOL, but it's intended to be KOLOL.
Nice.
No, I don't have a reason for that other than that's the first thing that popped into my head when I first created this name like 20 years ago. So
That's with juice bags. Everyone always thinks it's referring to something dirty, and it's not at all. It's old. I was in the casino business for a really long time, and it's a really old casino term. And I think it actually that name started with Ultima Online way back when, and I just stayed with it. So anyway, guys, let's go ahead and pick a winner here. Rubik Cube 58. Congrats. Say something in chat there, Rubik Cube, and let me know that you are here.
And now we've got some hashtag KOLOLs in chat.
The KOLOLs are coming. Oh, there we go. Rubik Cube is here indeed. I am sending you that code right now, Rubik, so check your whispers. And you just enter that in the mailbox. It works on all platforms, so whatever you play on, Xbox, PC, whatever. It's all good. So congrats. Congrats, Rubik Cube. That and your namesake has given me hours of enjoyment throughout the course of my life. I used to be a bit of a Rubik's addict.
Oh god.
The wife would.
The Rubik's Cube would tear your life apart.
Oh yeah.
Social gatherings, I can't. I have to stay at home and play with my cube.
When I first met the wife, she would come over and she just thought I was a complete nerd. She's like, "What are you doing, man? Come on." You're sitting here watching a movie with me playing with a Rubik's Cube. What are you thinking?
Oh man, oh god, okay. Hey, I would think that would be a plus. Like, this guy really likes his Rubik's Cube.
Absolutely. I met my wife in Vegas. I used to live in Vegas. And we went to a small gaming convention there in Las Vegas, and she showed up wearing a Pokemon dress, and it was like, done deal. It's like, all right, I know this is the one.
Yeah, no kidding.
No doubt about it. So, congrats again to you there, Rubik Cube. Go get you an adept, man. Get that girl leveled up. So we know that upcoming, there's going to be the Barbarian. There's going to be the Ranger.
Don't do that.
Don't do that one. We know that there will be the Ranger, which is the gender swap, the male huntress. And then there will be the Countess, which is the female squire. All three of those have kind of been teased so far. Out of those, who do you think you're looking forward to the best? Or the most, I guess I should say.
I would say the Countess, but if I had to choose one that I would like to see, it would be none other than the Summoner.
The Summoner would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm all about that strategy. I don't think that we'd be able to implement something. I don't think it would be quite fair to just have invincibility top-down mode or anything like that, but I would like to see a hero that can summon things and maybe has a bit more of a strategic ability set.
There was
than, DPS.
There was
the opposite of the gun witch.
Oh yeah. There was an article on, I don't even remember what gaming media outlet it was, but there was an interview with Blacksmith back way back. I want to say it was probably at least a year and a half, 2 years ago. And Blacksmith was asked that question about the Summoner and the Abyss Lord. And he actually answered. He said that the reason that they didn't straight up use the Summoner and that they kind of changed it into the Abyss Lord is specifically because of that Overlord mode. That they didn't have the ability to add that type of play into the game.
Oh, I know. Oh, yeah, I know about that, but I don't know. I would like to see. Okay, so I think that Trinity has gotten a bit better with their, how they handle entities, and also they've introduced the sort of trap AI right now with the bees uh, uh, and the Nimbus.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's within their capabilities for sure to have it summon actual walk around friendly mobs, right, with AI.
That would be just
Maybe
really
you
cool.
don't necessarily have as much control over where they go, but we have enough health so it doesn't quite matter. And obviously you'd be limited on the number you can summon. I would say Abyssord, I don't know. I don't feel like the towers really do it for me. I mean, even if they're in the shape of a of a golem or whatever, no, I want them to be able to move around.
That would be pretty cool.
On that one.
No doubt about it. That would be ridiculously cool. The I didn't do a build in Dungeon Defenders 1 that didn't include the summoner. I always had the summoner in the mix, and I always had the EV2 in the mix. I was always using the buff beams, and particularly the buff beams on a bunch of archers. And it was just lots and lots of fun.
Oh yeah.
So which hero is your go-to DPS? I know that's a tough one because everybody, swaps it up.
No. My go-to DPS has always been Gunwitch.
No doubt about it. Just
no doubt.
That's fair. The Gunwitch is insanely fun to play. I kind of actually thought it was strange that prior to launch, the Gunwitch was it. I mean, everybody played the Gunwitch. You saw Gunwitches just going everywhere all the time. And now the Gunwitch isn't as popular. And the Gunwitch puts out very nice DPS. And as far as just the fun factor, I mean, is there double jump and flying on a gun? I mean, can it get any better than that?
With the Dryad coming out, the double jump's coolness was diminished because, the Dryad can double jump and fly permanently. Okay, but can the Dryad go at super speed? No, I don't think so. Does the Dryad have a big gun? No, I don't think so, okay? Gunwitch, that's where it's at.
I hear ya. Until the Dryad gets a machine gun, it will never be the same. The speed factor for sure. I mean, the Gunwitch is just the mobility, and then when you add in, when you add in just the effectiveness to get around maps, I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, right here on this map, you can just so easily go from the top of the map to the bottom of the map just within, a second if you wanted to. Very easy to do.
And it's not just the mobility either, though. I mean, like, if I just wanted mobility, I'd just play Lava Mancer, right? Like,
right.
Could cover a whole map in 0.5 seconds. But yeah, her ability to just like stay in the air and pick off big targets, really great. I would
absolutely.
say I was a bit, I was a little annoyed, with the whole siege roller thing. You can't hit them unless you're shooting from the back. Kind of messed up my play style there with the Gunwitch, but Ice Needle can take care of those no problem. So.
Oh, I misspoke there. Now you know what I meant, Yo Blue. I meant the EV1, not the EV2. The original Robo Girl.
The OG, yeah.
I said I always use the EV2 and DD1. Of course, anytime I misstep, I'm instantly called out and chat on it. I got the fat gold loot box. I actually had now I can say I got really lucky, but at the same note, I grinded it out. But I got all of the adept shards on the first day, which is pretty awesome. Now I blew 2,000 defender medals too. I did that on stream and hoping that I would just have crazy good luck and just get all kinds of good stuff. And I only got one. I think I actually got the heal on stream. That heal for the adept is really, really strong. I mean,
yeah. That's my favorite thing about her. Is her heal is crazy.
Dare I
And
say
don't
it?
get me started on assassins.
Oh yeah.
GG assassins.
I mean, dare I say it, but it could very well be one of the strongest heals in the game. There's no
It
doubt about it.
absolutely is. Yeah, that's what I wanted out of her, to be honest. I didn't want her to be like a dedicated healer, although I have to say I would like a dedicated healer class. Not sure how that would really fit into the meta, because obviously if you're taking a lot of damage, you're probably not going to survive anyways. But
Right.
a dedicated healer would be cool. But anyways, yeah, the bubble on the adept is just that's her favorite ability of mine.
I'm all about that arc lightning. I mean, the bubble can't go unused because it is just so powerful. But I am definitely all about the arc lightning. I was a huge fan of the shaman in World of Warcraft and all that, and I love splashing around that arc lightning. It is just so awesome.
Yeah, lightning is quite good as well.
But yeah, the adept, the abilities are all strong. You know, I mean, obviously we all already know the power of the tornado. You know, that's a beast. No doubt about it. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I haven't given. Let's give the adept a little airtime on the old anti-air here, huh?
Yeah, show her off, man.
The girl needs to get some love. That have you used? Have you had an opportunity to use it much?
Yeah, quite a lot. Not on live. Most of my adept time has definitely been dedicated to testing. This is actually the first time I've even used an adept on live, to be honest. I did do quite a bit of testing with it though.
Yeah, it's really powerful. I do have I got a small complaint with the shard. I don't remember what it's called. Let me look. No, it's not that one. One of the shard that makes that throws the big rock every 10 hits. It seems like the target dies before the rock gets there because it travels so slow. So
Yeah.
I hope that something gets changed with that. But besides that, I mean, the adept's been a lot of fun. I've been having a blast.
It's kind of the same thing with the volcano, though, you know.
Right. And
That was good. So.
That's true. That's true. And that, I mean, with the, you know, of course, the bosses are all ground mobs, so we're gonna, you know, we're not gonna see it. Where with the volcano, it still hits the bosses.
Right.
So we get that luxury. All right, Twinkie, have a good one. Thanks for swinging by the stream. So, what other games do you currently enjoy?
Oh, well, yeah, good question. I'm playing Orc Chained, obviously. I've been getting back into that recently. I took a rather extended hiatus from that, but recently I've rekindled my interest in that. So I'm having fun with that. I'm playing some Fortnite, of course. Fortnite. I'm currently waiting on some more updates for Fortnite, but you know, I have been playing some Fortnite. Old school RuneScape. Shout out to old school RuneScape. Mostly just AFKing and that, but you know, it's still playing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And of course, Factorio. Rekindled my interest in Factorio as well recently. I played, as we discussed, I'd played before off Steam and now recently bought it on Steam. Having a lot of fun with that.
Factorio is insanely addicting. It really is. I mean, it's so easy to just completely burn the clock. You know, you start playing it and you look at the clock and it's, you know, 7 hours later and you're wondering where your day went.
Yeah, the problem is when you fall asleep and you don't pause your game and then you come back and like your whole base is ruined because
everything's chewed apart.
You might go to sleep, but the wildy beasties do not.
I did a playthrough on stream with a couple of friends I play with regularly, Joe and Omni, and at the end of our playthrough we nuked the base, and we debated on, instead of nuking the base, taking down all the defenses and just letting it get overrun. But I mean, if you got
that's such a sad and slow death though.
If you got the nukes, though, how do you not use it?
That you have to.
Yeah. I mean, towards the end, we were just so... I mean, the entire map, every direction around us was just completely red. You know, I mean, we had... There was just encampments absolutely everywhere. And we would go out and clear them, you know, clear around the walls quite frequently. But I think the overrunning would have happened pretty quick. Because those guys are just... They're very persistent.
Yeah, they are incessant, to say the least.
No doubt about it. So anyway, guys, we're going to do a couple more runs. We got about another 30 minutes. If you're just joining the stream, we're going to be giving away an adept code with the Doomfire Regalia skin right here at the end of the stream in about a half an hour. So throw a hashtag KO in chat, and that will get you entered. Thank you all very much for all the new followers and subscribers as well. I do really appreciate it. I usually like to thank you guys individually, but KO puts so much love and time and effort into DD2. I wanted to make sure I get plenty of KO in the mix today here.
Hey, look, when you guys become overlords, you can get all the juice bags this time you need, alright?
Once you become the server overlord. So I know you recently, or not recently, I guess it's been a few months now, but you redid, kind of reformatted the Reddit, the subreddit, and fixed it all up, put in lots of good stuff. Were you weren't doing the Reddit before, were you? Was that when you started with the Reddit, or?
Alright, so how it was, how it went was I approached Trendy about, I don't remember which was first. I don't remember if it was Reddit or Discord first, but it sort of transitioned into, I'll do both, because I want to do both. I think it might have been Reddit first. The Reddit was just so... let's just say it was very vanilla, okay?
Right.
Imagine lots of white. And I was like, what the heck? Yeah, I remember. All right, so I started playing DD2 from the Troy crossover. I went to their subreddit because I browse Reddit. I'm like, what the heck? This is such an awesome game. Why does their subreddit suck? I mean, why is it so plain? So I had done this before where I had, revamped and taken over a subreddit with Orcs Die, of course, and others in the past. So I was like, oh yeah, I can do this. I got time for a big project. So over the next at least 2 or 3 months, I was working on this complete overhaul, literally changing everything from the mods to just everything. If anything you can imagine, it was changed. Automod. Oh god, there's just so much. There's a reason it took that long. I'll say that much.
Oh, it's a lot of work, no doubt about it.
So yeah, that's how that happened.
Omni's doing the exclamations with the legendary KO in chat. I actually originally put the ultimate plus KO, but I wasn't sure if people would get the reference. I know there's, quite a few people have transitioned from Dungeon Defenders to Dungeon Defenders 2, but I wasn't sure if everyone would get the ultimate plus reference.
Hey, I'm happy with being legendary, alright?
Nothing wrong with legendary, that's for certain. This map is actually really fun. And you know what? Last night, normally I don't get up at a normal human being hour. My wife works a night shift, and for me personally, it's like the perfect time to record and everything is late at night because just all my neighbors are sleeping. There's no cars going down the road. It's all the background noise is really quiet, And I've got kind of paper-thin walls where I live here, so I just hear everything outside. But last night, I was trying to get myself to bed at a decent hour, and I told myself I was not going to worry or look at the leaderboards in DD2 at all. And last night, I started playing around with it, and oh my god, I'm hooked. I'm gonna end up having to make some, even though the leaderboards for DD2 are not in a finished state yet, I'm gonna have to play around with them. It's just too fun not to.
Of course. No man can resist the temptation of the leaderboards.
Oh yeah, there is actually, you know what, I'm not sure if anyone has posted it on Reddit yet, and sadly I can't remember who did it to give you a proper shout out, but someone has actually put together a spreadsheet already with all of the win modifiers, so people know what to shoot for to increase their score. But that's something, if they haven't posted it up, I'll try to get it posted on Reddit today, as I know a lot of people are going to be interested. But there's a lot of interesting little modifiers.
Yeah, definitely. And there will probably be more to come. They'll be changed as you know, we see how things work out.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it. Oh, Light Rain did it. I didn't realize Light Rain did it. Awesome. Well, congrats. Thank you very much there, Light Rain. It's, I mean, it's got all the info there. How do you not love it? Yep, hashtag KO in chat will get you entered. Crap, I keep forgetting. I'm such a monk addict. I constantly just switch back to the monk to DPS. But this skin is definitely cool. The only thing I concerned myself with is, you know, any kind of questionable squires getting the upskirt view when she jumps, as her skirt does fly up in the air just a little bit.
Questionable squares indeed.
Oh, we're getting the shardage now. Omni wants to see the bubble. He's like, quit it with the arcane lightning. I want to see the bubble. We actually, one of the highest modifiers you can get is only using 30% of the available DU.
Yeah, that's a really tough one, especially on some of the lower max DU maps. It's actually really hard.
Yeah.
Not impossible, I would say.
I mean, when you look at the 800 DU maps, you know, 240 DU usage, that's pretty low when you're considering sometimes, you know, 4 to 5 lanes.
Yeah, it's definitely bare bones gameplay. There's no doubt about that. I would say you really, in order to get that modifier, you really have to just you almost have to like abuse a really OP tower. Like,
oh yeah,
even if you've got a totally maxed out, you know, build, it's really tough.
Oh, no doubt.
But that's what makes it good. You know, it wouldn't be true leaderboards if it weren't a little bit difficult.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, it definitely does. That was one of the things that really hooked me in Orcs Must Die 2. I was a big fan of the original Orcs Must Die, but Orcs Must Die 2 really, really drew me in. And one of the things that did it so much was the leaderboards. I mean, you know, chasing leaderboards is always fun. You know, no doubt about it. I'm excited to see which direction they go and where they end up. Hopefully, eventually, we get them actually in-game. I'm sure that's probably the goal down the road.
Yeah, I mean, there are currently leaderboards in OMDU, but they're not as prominently displayed, let's say, as in OMD2.
Right.
The thing is, unlike OMD2, I keep getting the mix-up in my head because I'm like, I switch between this frequently. But unlike OMD2, OMDU has like everything is online, right? You can't be using cheat engine to just like modify your score at the end of the map to put you on the high scores, which you could do in OMD2 because all of that was client-sided. But with all of the server-sided backend that we have now in OMDU, can't really cheat the leaderboard. So I'm hoping that they do sort of decide, hey, you know, leaderboards are fun and it adds a competitive element even in single player. So sort of reintroduce that to the limelight.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's you know, it's fun that they added it in. You know, the separate leaderboards, which you almost have to do. You know, the separate and the team play. So I mean, it wouldn't really be a fair comparison not you know, not adding in, you know, the separations. But I'm definitely excited to see where it goes. You know, anything that adds replayability to what's already an awesome game is definitely okay with me. No doubt about it. So the you said the Dryad is one of your favorite builders, and
sure.
the Gun Witch is your DPS. I tell you one thing I'm excited to see, and I know this is probably, if he ever comes at all, one of the things down the road that I am really looking forward to is the Man in the Machine. I want it.
Oh God.
I want it so bad. I want it to be just awesome. And, you know, I mean, we'll see if that ends up coming out. I briefly played DD2 back in the MOBA days. And, oh, the Man in the Machine. Besides just looking really cool, it was fun to play as well. So I'm really hoping that, you know, that it comes at some point for sure.
Well, I will say that it has been brought up on occasion, and the response was a positive one. So I will say that, you know, Trendy likes the idea of that, but in terms of if it's planned or anything like that, I won't speak on that.
I know Isim's a big fan, so that helps the cause right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, look at this orb, dude. Oh, I guess you can't see it, but I've got a white orb over here. Max stats.
Oh, dig. And of course, it has to be a white one. Oh.
Absolutely. Only second to green. Green orbs are all powerful.
Omni's still yelling at me about bubbles. Here, Omni, here's your bubble. Ba-bam! Sadly, no mobs made it in to experience the bubble.
Double bubble.
Some of those builds Excellent did today with all of on the Trendy Friday Fun with all of those mystics. It was like, oh my god. I actually streamlined my deck. I did have, I think it was 42 heroes, and I've streamlined it now down to 22. I deleted quite a few of them.
Yeah, that's streamlined.
Well,
you really chopped it right now.
The Ascension system just made it so you just didn't need that many, you know? I mean, if you want to be able to add, you know, 7 volcanoes to a map or whatever, of course, then you're going to need 7 Lavamancers, but...
As I do.
Just one KO will do there, Mad Knight. Zimmerman lost all his number ones on the leaderboards. I looked through them last night. Looks like Gobu's in action. Gobu wants to hit them. He's got quite a few number 1 spots on the leaderboards right now. Yeah, it's fun. Definitely fun chasing those down, though. That's for sure. So, are there any new, or not necessarily new, but is there anything, you know, teased, not teased, or just an idea that you have in your head that you'd like to see come to DD2?
Well, aside from the things I've already said, I would like to see a less grindy progression system. I'm not a big fan of grinding. I know some people just love grinding, but I just don't have the time to grind, you know?
Right.
I just can't spend, like, you know, 12 hours a day grinding Ascension.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know that, you know, Trendy's gotten quite a bit of feedback on the loot system. And I agree. I agree 100%. I mean, although I do grind, and really, to be honest with you, all I end up playing is grind games. I don't know why I do that to myself, but I agree with you 100%. I would love to see some kind of slight change or variation, you know, of the leaderboards for sure.
I can appreciate the grind for what it is, right? Because without the grind, player retention would just be diminished. You know, you need the grind to, keep players coming back, extend the life of the game. But it's, grind is just not for me. I like to go in and then just like binge, right? Like I'm a sort of guy who goes into a game and just plays it hardcore like crazy, but not for a long time. I'll take a break and then go back and play like crazy again, right? Like I'm not a guy who plays every single day and I'll just slowly grind up my ascension. Then I get bored really quickly. I gotta space it out.
Oh yeah, definitely. I do the same thing. I mean, everybody knows I put a pretty insane amount of hours into DD2, and attempting to maximize 3 different platforms is a little bit absurd. Just a touch with the grind that the game does have.
Grow 4 more arms, man.
Oh my gosh, it's now. I won't lie. Back before the Xbox, before launch, when Onslaught was here, I had an Onslaught going on the PC and the PS4 at the same time. I'm not gonna lie. But it's
I would too.
It's a lot. It's an awful lot to put into it for sure. And I mentioned it earlier. I plan on getting the free ride a little, so to speak, on the PS4 this time around. I've actually already done it a little bit. I'm up to about Chaos 4-ish gear on the PS4 now. But I'm legit on the Xbox. I made it to Chaos 7. 100% solo. I didn't take any carries, not even DPS or anything. And I don't have the gear yet. I'm still working on getting that end-game gear. But one of the things I personally would like to see is, and I know that for people that are min-maxers, the end-game grind is going to be big. No doubt about it. However,
sure.
it would be nice if it took a little less to get there. To get to Chaos 7. Once you get to once you get to Chaos 7, the grind starts all over again, as getting maximum or even close to max Chaos 7 loot will take you the same amount of time, if not longer, as it took you just to get to Chaos 7 to begin with. No doubt about it. So I'd definitely like to see something change there as well, for sure.
Yeah, and I mean they could, I'm not suggesting like a massive change to the entire system. I think they did that, and it's at a comfortable place right now. But I could see them sort of supplementing in some progression with like, occasionally the merchant will sell a crazy good piece of gear, and that's gonna bump you up significantly. That's gonna save you a lot of time.
That would be awesome. I mean, I'd be all about that. That'd be I mean, it still adds in, you'll still have the requirement where you're going to have some gold, or defender medals or whatever it ends up being purchased with. And, I'm all good with that. To be honest with you, I've got no problem grinding if I know that there's a goal, and not the goal of just getting this magical piece, this magical piece of gear, but the goal of if I come up with this many million gold or that many million defender medals or whatever the case is, I'll be able to get something like this. That would be pretty awesome. I'd like to see that too. One of the main things that I personally just am really looking forward to is whatever the new version of Onslaught becomes. If it's an endless mode, it's going to be a different name. I think most of us are assuming it may be called something else. Whatever it's going to be, I'm really looking forward to it. I absolutely cannot wait, no doubt.
There's definitely a part of the community that's like all about that endless style gameplay. For me, there has to be sufficient rewards. Like, if I'm gonna put endless amounts of time into it, I want to get endless amounts of rewards from it, right? Like, the rewards should be at least as good as if I spent this amount of time on any other mode, I would get the same rewards, right? Obviously, there's it varies because the loot system is based on luck, but the problem with endless modes in the past, at least for Dungeon Defenders, has been the rewards are really kind of lackluster. Like the main incentive was actually just to get a golden pet before, and that's fine, but you don't really get much anything else.
Right, absolutely. I really like the original system with survival and dungeon, the original game, where it was, it was a different game mode. It wasn't quite, it wasn't endless. There was a goal in sight. And, I mean, just like you mentioned, you tend to binge games. I mean, I would have no problem at all with having a 25 or 35 wave, whatever, like in the original game that might even take you as much as a couple of hours to do. I mean, I tend to binge games quite frequently as well, so I mean, I would have no problem sinking a couple of hours into a map with the, reward of getting some unique pet or whatever the case is at the end.
Yeah, I'm totally alright with the game lasting multiple hours, so long as the server can, maintain consistency, which I think it probably would be able to do. Because if you're an hour and a half in and the game bugs out, oops, well, you don't get anything. That's why I'd like to see some rewards as I'm playing as well. It keeps me interested, and it's insurance because if I bug out, oh, I've still got what I've already earned, right? Like, I don't get the end reward, the big bonus, but I'm not out. I didn't spend all my time for nothing.
Right.
So that sort of error, that sort of bug, it's not game breaking necessarily, but it really leaves a sour taste in the mouths of players. And obviously, nobody wants that.
Oh, definitely. No doubt about it. I didn't, to be honest with you, I never even thought about that, but that would definitely be an issue with the game that, I mean, every time damage is done or a piece of loot drops or whatever, it's essentially pinging the server. I didn't really think about that, but that's true. I mean, you would have to add, I mean, there would have to be some sort of, I don't know, there'd have to be some sort of system in place, which I'm sure they've thought about that, to handle reconnects or, just the state of the game with what happens if there's a disconnect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Killer Monkey, I take the whole mod thing pretty seriously. I've got one mod on YouTube and one mod on Twitch, and it's the same person on both. So I don't throw around the modding very frequently. I've heard too many.
Gonna be a mod.
For you, KO, maybe we'll think about it.
Oh yeah, see.
I know you're
He'll
capable.
throw it around to anyone.
Well, the thing with KO being a mod is I know that you would understand more about the system than I do.
What? No, I don't know anything.
It just amazes me that, I mean, with just the nature of any sort of public program where you can, like Discord is what I'm referring to, where, anyone is welcome to join and say whatever they want and everything else. It amazes me how well you handle those issues when they come up, where someone is being inappropriate or whatever the case is. I mean, you do an absolutely amazing job with it. And considering there's not a whole lot of mods, you do a lot of that on your own, it seems like to me. Not to discredit any of the mods that are there, but
Absolutely.
I see you're there all the time.
Mods are the backbone of the operation, so to speak, right? I mean, they are the support staff. The thing is, I do have to sleep eventually, and when I'm asleep, the mods are not. Okay, hopefully, that's the idea, anyways.
Right.
One person can handle 800 people. It's not a problem. But not if they're asleep. In terms of maintaining balance, it's all about attitude. If you are gonna be like, how dare you spam in my server, get out, I don't know. It's just, some people just don't know how to handle it, it's true. Generally, if you have a positive attitude, though, so will your community. If you just sort of encourage positive behavior and constant socialization, you give incentives, you know, it'll do itself. Occasionally, you have to step in and drop the hammer, because whatever, it's life. But yeah, my whole model is built around making a community that, wants itself to thrive.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I mean, just that philosophy itself, I think you could probably apply that to anything in life. It's definitely a good philosophy to have, I came from, before my days on Living the Dream on YouTube, I was a corporate guy. I actually started off in business as a corporate guy before I got completely burnt out on it and started in the casino world. I worked for Pennzoil, and I was I was essentially a Jiffy Lube franchisee. I went around the country and helped new franchisees get set up, and that was one thing that Pennzoil actually really promoted, was just the positivity. And I mean, there's no doubt about it. In all aspects of life, that's going to be a winning thought process for you, for sure. Shout out to the legendary Gobu there, Omni. Everybody knows who Gobu is. Gobu is the Gobu.
Yeah, nothing more needs to be said.
Gobu, enough said. I don't think I've ever met a more dedicated person living out the RP role quite as much as Gobu. It's a 24/7 thing.
That's what you think. It's all real.
It could be, You never know. It could be all real. Mrs. Juice Cash, yeah, Mrs. Juice Cash is the real reason I'm able to live the dream.
How do we know you're not actually an orange? That's the thing.
This is true. The funny thing is, people really called me out on it the other day. Actually, it was probably about a month ago on stream. They were asking me, well, what actually is my favorite juice? And I live in the Pacific Northwest, and it's, you live up here, it's all about the cranberries. I mean, it's supposed to be like the best cranberries in the world, blah, 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 blah. Everything else. There you go, sales pitch, or plug to local farmers. But I love cranberry juice. I absolutely love cranberry juice. And they asked me why I don't have a cranberry juice logo then instead, and it's like, well, because the orange looks cooler. I mean, what can you do,
Yeah, it's totally true. Come on. The cranberry.
I
don't even know what that was.
I got no problem with orange juice. I just like the cranberry juice better.
You say that your time as, juice bags has increased your fondness of orange juice?
It's good stuff. So I tell you what, why don't we do one more map and then we'll give away that last adept. Yeah, we've given away one already there, guys, and we've got the big one. The big one with the skin and everything. We'll go out after this next map. So once again, before I forget, I just wanted to say thanks for joining me. It's an honor to have you here. I know that you put a lot of time and effort into helping to build the DD2 community through its various sources that you do. But I know it's as someone who has attempted before to admin just a Discord server that was much smaller than the DD2 Discord. Hats off to you, no doubt about that.
Thanks, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it's not just me. I mean, you yourself bring a lot to the DD2 community, let's not forget. Streamers, in general, in fact, are integral to a healthy community. Streamers, they play the game, they keep the community happy, but they also bring in new people, right? And it's just a big circle, right? Here's the thing, I love promoting streamers. I love promoting streamers. I promote the streamers, the streamers bring people into the game. The streamers, the people who the streamers have brought into the game, join the community, repeat. You know,
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
good for the game. It's good for the community. It's good for the streamers.
It's definitely a process. You know, it circles back around. That's for sure. I'm still just amazed at. I mean, if anyone has gotten their money's worth out of DD2, it is definitely me. I've bought the collector's edition on all platforms and everything else, but I've got such an insane amount of hours in the game that I just love it. I love the game. I keep coming back. Anytime I play any other tower defense game, even just like the just straight up tower defense, like things like Defense Grid and whatnot. I love those games. But one of the things it does is it makes me want to play more DD2. Let me take a quick trip to the pool here. I can never, ever... Speaking of leaderboards, that's what will kill all of my leaderboard aspirations, is my fail jumping. I am constantly jumping off ledges.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to work on that. Speaking of tower defense, there's a lot of good games in the genre. I remember even just like, maybe it was around 4 years ago, the tower defense games kind of went in another direction. Like, prior to that, they were all like 2D based, rather static, top down. But games like Sanctum, Orcs Must Die, Dungeon Defenders, they sort of like shot up in popularity, and so now we've got this new subgenre of tower defense games that include like DPS, right? Like you've actually got a hero involved that you're playing as, and you just put down the towers, and that's a subgenre I can really appreciate. You know, someone who's always loved tower defense games, just like adding the interactivity, and tower defense games are known for having lots of replayability value, but it just multiplies it when you add the third or first person aspect of the game.
Oh, no doubt about it. You guys will have to pardon the background noise here. The old choo-choo train just drove by, and it is loud and rumbly this time around.
I can barely hear it.
I've been trying to mute. I've got about a mile or two down the road from where I live. There's a transfer station where trains get their swap carts and everything else, and it requires the engine of the train to do a constant back and forth for 10 or 15 minutes. It's extremely irritating.
Yeah, that would bug me.
I asked them to move, but they didn't. They said no.
How rude.
I've actually got plans on moving here before too long. We live in Washington, and my son is actually in the Navy, and he is going to be stationed for the next several years up at Whidbey Island, up close to Seattle, and we were thinking about moving a little closer to there, just to see the brat a little more often,
Yeah, absolutely. And you wouldn't be out in the middle of nowhere, so you'd have better upload, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing that I didn't really understand how all that worked with cable internet, with the bonded channels and all that, but I just never quite understood why I can get such a ridiculous download speed, but my upload speed is just awful. And
yeah, it's a learning curve there for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely why, no doubt about it. But yeah, I'm anxious to get a little better connection. I've actually got the machine that's capable of streaming to, you can't stream to Twitch with that resolution, but I mean, I would be capable of streaming in 4K 60 frames per second to YouTube if I had a screaming connection, which obviously I just do not have right at the moment.
I'm not sure how much justice DD2 could do to 4K resolution.
Yeah, that's definitely a point. That's just more of the geeky side of me coming out. Gots to have the power.
Yeah, we'll be looking at 4K as low-end graphics in the next few years anyways.
Oh yeah.
As well get in the game early.
That was one thing. If there's, a lot of people, always telling me about, oh, you lived in Vegas for 15 years, blah, 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 blah. Living in Vegas was not spectacular, but one of the things I do really, really miss about Vegas was the CES and seeing all the hot new technology before it was released. That was just so awesome. And now, of course, I don't, it's just, it would be a really expensive trip to go down to Vegas just for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the technology is definitely changing in ridiculous fashions. Even like with Discord. I mean, some of the things with Discord that are being implemented, some of the video chatting and stuff like that. I mean, for like podcasts or a lot of different features for a streamer itself, it makes it just a powerful tool to have for certain.
Oh yeah, Discord is great for that. I think the video chat, it's gonna need some work before it can be, applicable to commercial use, let's say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you've tested it thoroughly or anything, but it needs a little love.
Well, I mean, it's in the, it's in the early
There's
stages.
a reason they've only rolled it out to 10%.
Right. Absolutely. I actually haven't done it yet. Everybody gives me a hard time about it, but I actually game from my living room. I don't have a separate room where I live now. And so I just, anytime I use my webcam, I just feel like I have to have my green screen. If I don't have the green screen in the mix, I just don't use the webcam. And, of course, since I'm live streaming from my living room, the wife's not a big fan of me setting up all this lighting and green screens in the living room. So anytime I use it, I have to set it up and tear it down, And she's shaking her finger at me now, saying, "Don't blame me for your laziness." But yeah, I have to set it up and tear it down every time. So I'm just too damn lazy for that. I mean, I try, but just I don't try frequently enough.
Yeah, I'm the same way when it comes to like practicing instruments and whatever. I'm like, I could, but then I'd have to like unpack it and then pack it back up later.
Oh yeah. Well, there was this. I actually, in my teenage days, I was, not that I'm not a big music fan now, but I was actually, a fairly decent musician. I had a full scholarship set up with music. Ended up not taking it. Because the interwebs became a thing, I took a different route in life for schooling. That and, my mom was the president of Georgetown University for a while, so I had some hookups, which was kind of, things that you can't pass up. So, so I kind of had free reign, and I didn't have to rely on the scholarship. But yeah, I mean, music is another one of those things. You have to set up and tear down, but on the same note, once you start creating a new piece or just playing around and having fun, the time flies off the clock.
Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, that's what's good about instruments is it doesn't always feel like a chore, I mean, sometimes it can, but often it's just like, you're just having fun, right?
Well, it's instant gratification,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That's what, that used to actually be my slang term for TF2. My son was a huge Team Fortress fan, and we played a lot of TF2 together, and, I would play these other games that required, grinding out this, or doing 25 raids to try to find this one piece in various things, and, the WoW days, and, he'd be like, well, let's play TF2. And it's like, oh yeah, we'll call that one instant gratification, because you can log in, immediately have fun.
Yeah, get what you need, yeah.
And not have to worry about preparing or grinding or doing anything else. It was just all about logging in and having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if we're comparing it to trying to get a high tier raid item and
oh yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, that's pretty normal there, League. It's if to truly maximize, not just in DD2, in any game, to fully maximize heroes, it's I mean, it not only takes an absolute insane amount of time, it kind of takes almost some sort of divine intervention with RNG to get the pieces you need. With, I'm assuming I've probably got, I don't know, 500 to 1,000 hours into Chaos 7, somewhere in there. I don't really know the exact number, just pulling that one out. And I've only got one truly max item, you know, in all those hours. And I've got a bunch of stuff that's pretty darn close. But only one that's all the way up to the top. Alright guys, so if you haven't already, it's time for the Adept bundle to go. So if you have not yet, give me a hashtag KO in chat. And good luck to everybody. But once again, KO, just thank you very much for joining me today. It was a lot of fun. Always good to chat with other members of the DD2 community. And I know you put your time in. You know, there's nothing requires more time than doing what you do. That's for darn sure.
I don't know that World of Warcraft grind.
Oh yeah, it can do it. That's actually to this day is still the game that has the most hours played to me personally. I was a little bit too much into it there back in the early days, doing that old High Warlord grind and Vanilla WoW, and then being silly enough to change sides and do a Grandmaster grind after that.
Oh god, yeah.
It's
the same thing for me with RuneScape.
Yeah.
To be honest.
It just adds a whole new level of insanity. No doubt about it. So anyway, guys, the DD2 Invitational I do every Friday, I'm going to have a member of the community each week. If you're a streamer or just a long-term player, anybody in general that just loves Dungeon Defenders 2, make sure you send me a message through your favorite media source. It can be Twitch, YouTube, Discord, Twitter, whatever. Send me a message, let me know you're interested, and make sure you include a link to your channel. That way I can go check you out. And next week's guest is going to be none other than the Mega Dan X Neo, the original EV2. He is going to be joining me next week on stream, so looking forward to that. Should be a lot of fun. And he's got some goals and some things he wants to accomplish. But anyway, I'll give you guys another 60 seconds or so, and we will pick a winner. Winner!
I've still got some codes to give away myself, but those are going to be on Reddit.
Oh, nice.
I've given away my Discord codes for now, although I have a couple people who haven't claimed them yet, but I'll give them a little time, then I'm going to head over to Reddit and pass out some Adept codes, maybe some Joy codes.
Very nice. So make sure you all keep an eye on Reddit, and there'll be more to come with that. But we know the Discord Adept giveaway just ended, didn't it? Yesterday, or was that?
Just ended last night, 8 o'clock. But I do giveaways there pretty much every update. So, I mean, not including hotfixes and stuff. But yeah, if you wanna enter some giveaways, definitely check out Discord, Reddit, and also just keep your eyes on the streaming directory. If you are in Discord and you look over on the right on the user list, everyone that has the VIP role, and a lot of the people, a lot of people who have the streamer role, if not all of them, will have giveaways. So watch all of their streams, and you have a pretty good chance of getting one code.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know a lot of people were really excited last night. They were counting down the minutes until 8 o'clock. I saw a lot of chat going on. 15 more minutes, 20 more minutes. People were pretty stoked about that one. So yeah, definitely. If you're not, you can do a exclamation Discord in chat right there, and it will give you an invitation link to the official DD2 Discord. So if you are not already, get in the mix. There's a lot of good people there, a lot of good conversation, and you know, a lot of people that are new to the game and just need help. There's a nice help channel that you can feel free to ask your questions with no pressure or judgment. Ask any question DD2 related you want in there, and there's there's going to be somebody willing to help you out for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a team of volunteer helpers, and so if you use @helpers, you'll get a response very quickly.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I actually I've been using it a little bit. I used it for Xbox and PS4 the other night for some matchmaking, and had there was people ready to go and play. It was awesome. So had a little Xbox fun with some of the folks from Discord, and a lot of with the Xbox and PS4, a lot of people use the voice chat internally. But remember too that you can also enter any of those matchmaking groups if you have a group of folks that you want to play with. And then you've got the music channel going now. Is that going? Is that 24/7?
Yeah, it's 24/7. You can request any song you want. It's pretty standard. I mean, I have some plans to do some music nights in the future. So if you want to listen to some music with the community, look out for that.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. I've popped in there a few different times. No doubt about it. Anyway, guys, I'll give you 10 more seconds here, and we will get the winner out there. You got to spell it right, Apollo. There is only one KO, so no S on the end.
Yeah, chaos is something different. Actually, that's like the closest thing to my name that even exists is KAOS, which is Spanish for chaos. So some people will think.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah,
I should.
It has nothing to do with that though. But yeah, there you go.
whole different enchilada altogether. No pun intended.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go, guys. Good luck to everybody, and somebody is about to get themselves a Dryad bundle, and it looks like Free Will. So let me know in chat if you are still here, Free Will, and I'll give you about a minute to respond here. If you are still here, you just got yourself an Adept bundle.
You can't decide if it's a Dryad or an Adept bundle.
I keep saying Dryad, don't I? I mean Adept. Sorry, guys. The new hotness, the Adept. All right, there is Free Will is here, so congratulations to you. Sorry for the tease. If you really wanted a Dryad, it was not actually a Dryad. I was just being mean. But anyway, thank you all very, very much for joining us today, and a special thanks goes out to KO. And we'll be doing this DD2 Friday Invitational every Friday after the Trendy stream at 1 p.m. Pacific time. So that's 4 p.m. Eastern time, right here on Twitch. So make sure you swing on by on Fridays and keep an eye out for who the special guest will be. Like I mentioned, next week it's the one and only Megadan X Neo. He will be here. And Free Will, you just got your code, so enter that in at the mailbox in-game and get you going on your Adept hotness. Why on earth? now that I think about it, I think I've said Dryad about 1,600 times this stream. when I actually meant to say Adept. But anyway, thanks again, everyone, and I will see you next time, and thank you again, KO.
Absolutely.